Hello everybody, it is Michael here from My Retirement Trading, and we're going to talk about my real world, real life experience investing in YMAX. But before I get into this, I must state that this is not financial advice or a recommendation, and it is for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into it. YMAX. I have over 162 shares. I first bought into it on August 1st, 2025, and I bought two different times. And I have it set 100% on DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment Plan. I entered this position on YMAX on 8/1/2025. For the first time, I bought 100 shares for $1,315.90. And then I added another 50 shares for $623.91 on 10/14/2025. So my total amount of initial investment is $1,939.81. And right now, as of today, today's October 20th, 2025, it is worth $2,050.56. And if you subtract my initial investment from it, I'm up $110.75, or 5.7% total return in 2.5 months. So that's where my basic position stands. And we're going to go ahead and go in there and look at a little chart. Well, we head over to stockanalysis.com, one of my favorite websites for doing stock and ETF analysis. And they got a great ETF comparison tool that I love using. And I inputted YMAX by YieldMax, QQQI by NEOS, and Vanguard VOO, which is basically the S&P 500 ETF. And in a 6-month period of time, ended on October 17, 2025, YMAX was up 32.42%, followed by QQQI at 29.24%, followed by Vanguard VOO at 26.96%. And then if you go to the year to date, QQQI is slightly ahead at 15.83%, followed by YMAX at 15.27%, followed by Vanguard VOO at 14.42%. And if we go to a 1 year, and a 1 year total return, YMAX was up 24.53%, followed by the QQQI by NEOS at 20.67%, followed by the Vanguard VOO at 15.10%. And just to be transparent, I own all three of these. I own YMAX, and the Vanguard VOO is actually my largest position, and the NEOS QQQI is my second largest position at this time. Well, we head over to my spreadsheet, the Mike's cash account, except for the crypto. And this is where I keep track of all my income funds. And over here we see the YMAX by YieldMax. And I started off with 100 shares. And you can see all these nice distributions every week. A little smaller one here, but this one right here, the 27.98, that was on 150 shares of YMAX. And if you take that and you multiply that by 52, if it was to maintain that, it would be $1,454.96 in a 1 year period of time on an initial investment of $1,939.81. So, I mean, you can see that would be a nice return if it was to keep up. Well, I recently did my first interview on the channel, and it was with Mike Khouw of YieldMax. And we talked about actually ULTY and YMAX, and he was full of knowledge, and he actually talked about how both funds were constructed, and basically how the YMAX used a synthetic and the reason why and everything. And he actually even pulled up some comparison charts against the S&P 500. So I thought it was really neat, and I learned a lot from this interview. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to link it in the description for y'all to check it out. One of the reasons I decided to add YMAX to my portfolio, besides the nice size distribution, is that it's actually a fund of funds. So I didn't have to pick the individual stocks. It's actually basically a basket of their funds, their covered call funds. And so I don't have to pick one, and be wrong. And so I like this because it's like a basket of them. So that's one of the main reasons that I chose this one. I just didn't want to get stuck with some single stock risk and have something drag my portfolio down too much. So that's another reason I added this to my portfolio. I headed over to YieldMaxETFs.com, and I went to the YMAX part of their website. And it looks like they recently newly designed it. Anyway, it says YieldMax Universe Fund of Option Income ETF. And it says, why choose this fund? Weekly income potential. This fund is designed to provide investors with the potential opportunity for consistent weekly income by investing in YieldMax option income ETFs. Diversified exposure was the second reason. YMAX offers access to a broad mix of YieldMax ETFs, each tied to leading companies and ETFs, all in a single investment. And the third is simplified access. Investors can participate in YieldMax strategies across multiple stocks and ETFs without the need to manage individual positions. And if I go over here to the distribution information, they had a rate of 71.49% as of 10/14/2025. Well, last Friday, 10/17/2025, I received a distribution of $27.98 on my initial shares of YMAX. And I have this set on drip. So actually I got like 162 shares now, but I originally started with 150 shares. But if you take that distribution of the $27.98 and you multiply that by 52, it would have been $1,454.96. So, and then if I figured out the percentage in that on my initial investment, that would have been about a 75% APR. So I thought that would be very interesting to share with everybody. Well, in conclusion, there are many reasons that I added this YMAX by YieldMax to my portfolio. And the first reason being the fact that it is a weekly payer. I really wanted to have more weekly income to my portfolio. So hopefully I can use it when I get into retirement. So that's the first reason. The second reason is the high distribution rate. I received $27.98 last week. And if you were to multiply that by 52 weeks, that would have been $1,454.96, or an APR of about 75%, which is very high. So that is one reason that I added this. Another reason is that it's a fund of funds, so I don't have to pick the individual stocks. So I do like the fact that it's a fund of funds, so it's more diversified. So that's three reasons right there. So if you all have YMAX, let me know in the comment section. And if you have any suggestions or comments, drop them in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. And on that note, until next time, I will catch you all later.